Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Letter. Last episode, we had finally finished off Isabella's story, and supposedly I'd like to think that we got away from the ghost, but that's kind of left up in the air. Now, I mentioned this too in the description of the video that I had posted when I beat Isabella's story, is that I do intend to record my reactions to, or at least I'd like to, record my reactions to the other endings, the dead endings essentially, and see what happens after that. Probably nothing good, hence my warning at the beginning of every video, because I'm never sure if something is going to become extremely graphic or not, and I feel it's appropriate to have that warning. But, yeah. Oh, also, before I forget, this is gonna sound totally dorky and nerdy, but I don't care. But I have been working on some fan fiction besides my actual novels of, like, Louise a Vampire Story, Blood King, and, Fractured, and Ark of Nephilim. Yeah, I'm working on a bunch of books at once, I know. It's not really a smart decision, but that's how my brain works. The fan fictions that I've got 2 on the go, and one is going to be taking a long while because I just want to go over the information about this universe that the story takes place in, which is a Harry Potter fan fiction, which is set 40 years into the future after the events of the book. So, books, sorry, not book, books. So, yeah, there's that, and then there's Xenoblade Chronicles, which is the other fanfiction, which is called Xenoblade Chronicles Rebirth, and that takes place at least a few hundred years afterwards, which is, it's always been my thing where if it's gonna be a fanfiction, I want my own original characters set in that world, just in a different time, like in the future and whatnot, and you have more to play with, rather than just certain characters meeting other characters. In some cases it's vital, but in other cases it just feels, in some fanfictions I've run across, which a lot of it is romance, seems kind of forced. But anyway, regardless, we are now on Hanna's story. But also, I also want to mention too, that I will be adding links to where you can check out some of the stories, and also with the fanfiction of Xenoblade Chronicles on DeviantArt, I had actually commissioned an artist by the name of The Non-Existent, which I'll link to her YouTube page as well, because she also drew some of my characters, and 2 characters which are actually from the game itself. Just one is a slightly older rendition of this one character, and the other one is just this character in general because he looks just so freaking cool. I will add links in the description if you guys want to check out the speed paint videos that the speed paint video that she did. I believe she did of both of them. I'm sorry, brain. It's been a while since I watched them, but she did 2 speed paint videos of these characters, and it's really, really cool and really good, and her artwork is amazing. Just how she draws eyelashes is insane. So, yeah, anyway, on to Hanna's story, and of course before that, we got journal stuff. Profile. I gotta read this, because it's Hanna. It's different. Alright, Hanna Wright Nee Evans. I'm probably pronouncing the middle name wrong. But, birthday, April 30th. Oh, she's 31 years old, okay. And she's born in April, like me. Although I'm much earlier in the month, rather than at the end. And she's 5'7". Everyone's taller. Occupation, heiress, former finance manager. Oh wow, so she's probably very smart then. That makes sense in Isabella's arc, that it was shown that she's actually pretty good at looking through documentation, so that makes sense. Nationality British, religion Anglican, education master's in business administration, major in accounting, likes, I don't know how the hell you say that first one. Dogs, fashion, parties and dancing, the beach, children, iconic women, charity, math. Nice. Of the Luxborn upper classes, Hanna is used to living a life of luxury. Absent parents made her crave for attention, though something she gained from her private tutors and nannies instead. It was never enough, however. She studied hard in order to make her parents proud, going into business so that she could work alongside them. The challenge in her otherwise privileged life was certainly a thrill for her, at the very least. She had many suitors, dating different men and women. Oh, so it's not just men, it's women too. Oh, that's cool. But it was through work that she met Luke. It was love at first sight for her. Upon her parents' death, Luke proposed to her. That was the move that led her to the merge of Wright Enterprise and Evans Incorporated, and her subsequent retirement. Their 7-year marriage is strained, but Hanna tries her best to make it work. With the mention here, does that mean she's bisexual, I guess? There's so many different types of sexualities, it's hard to keep track of what's what for me. And I apologize if I offend anyone. It's not my intention, it's just too many. There's too many. But if she is bisexual, that's really cool. I like that. Oh, so that's what she looks like. I like her dress and her shoes. I don't know why, but the style kind of reminds me of Weiss Schnee's new outfit. From Ruby. Sorry, I don't mean to bring that up, but it kind of looks it, I guess. Maybe it's just the color and the white at the bottom. Anyway, it is far too easy to get them to pay attention, enraptured. They hang on to my every word and follow my every move. All of it would have been stifling had I not grown used to such stares. Most are respectful, some are hostile, if I were honest. And a few are downright inappropriate. After all, I am...
Hanna Wright!
Hi. Hello. There's a moment of agitation as a familiar but less than welcome face approaches me, with such a suggestive smirk on his face. Of course, I have to keep a benevolent smile and greet him as I greet any good friend. After all, this man can turn heads, being famous in his own right.
Officer Lee! What a pleasant surprise. I didn't think you'd have the time to attend tonight's party.
He is more Luke's friend than mine. Really, I am quite sure I only invited his wife. Much like I am only friends with the chief inspector because of Luke, Luke is only friends with Rochelle because of me. Unlike how I treated Lee, however, Luke never hid his animosity for the Lee Mattridge. It was an odd sort of friendship where we would have awkward double dates. I don't even recall his first name. It starts with an N, I think? I might be wrong. Aside from being Chief Inspector of Luxborn Police, his wife, Rochelle Lee Nee Vance, owns a General Electronics company. Fridges and freezers, mostly.
Oh, I always have time for my favorite socialite couple. Might I say, you look positively ravishing tonight. I see the husband isn't with ya.
The way he eyes me up is enough to make my skin crawl. Yeah! Go away, please. I just wish Luke is here to fend off the more unseemly of our peers. You know the ones. Men who are just a bit too friendly, staring too long at my assets, and getting close just because my husband is not here. And to think they have the gall to do this at my own party. In my own house, if I might add. But like any high society woman worth her salt, I know how to handle it with grace and dignity.
I suppose you are looking pleasant as well. Luke's busy with work, unfortunately. Rochelle isn't here?
A shame. I do hope he isn't causing you much trouble. That husband of yours can be a bit daft sometimes, acting like he's still some young bachelor. The wife sends her regards and her apologies, but something came up with a doctor and she needed to attend to it. You know her, being pregnant and all.
We make small talk. Rather, I'm forced to do so. as he would not leave my side after finding his place there. Much to my chagrin, there's a lot of words in this and I don't know how to say. Oh, goodness. Chadring? I've been extracted from the few who flock in hopes of flattering, or I can tolerate them far better than Lee. He is a nice enough person, and I adore his wife, who is obviously the brains behind the two. But there is something unsettling about him. I do not trust him as much as I want to. He regales to me tales of Luxbourne Police Department, a different affair to the usual gossip I am privy to. And though I loathe to admit, it is interesting nonetheless. I expect the topic of business to die out quickly, which would be understandable enough due to the confidential nature of his work. But oh boy, was I wrong.
So, wearing civvies, I steal and drive off with one of the police mobiles, right? In the mirror, I see the mutant chasing on foot and screaming about theft. The look on his face was priceless when I parked in the garage.
Oh my. You made him chase you all the way home for a prank. What did Rochelle have to say about that?
Rochelle has a strange love and hate affair with Lee. He is a married man who did not grow up past his early 20s, judging by the way he acts. Surprisingly enough, they've been married for a good 20 years. Oh my gosh. A lifetime if you compare to my marriage of 7 years with Luke. I, on the other hand, well, Luke is not Lee. I should be happy about that, I suppose. Although my darling did have his moments.
The wife pulled my ear and gave me a good talking to, though. Besides, we live in a flat a block away, so it wasn't much of a grand chase.
Weren't you living in a house near the countryside?
Moved for work, you know. Or you probably don't.
No, I don't. But a flat in downtown? I suppose if that's what you like.
Oh, it's horrid. Hate that tiny place, no matter how convenient it can be for work. 55 square yards are not enough when you need to get away from the wife. I wouldn't mind a place away from the city. Even started looking at the ads. I spied an interesting lot, actually. Heard it was finally put up for sale, or that something mansion. You know the one with all the ghost stories.
Oh, this is how she heard about it. Okay. I know what he's talking about. There are really only a few urban legends around here. It's...
The Ermengarde Mansion?
That's how you say it? I've been pronouncing it Ermengarde.
That's the one. Worthy of a king it is. I'd buy it myself, but Rochelle would only gripe if I brought it up to her. Not to mention all the expenses a place like that. It'll be a real fixer-upper. You also have to find someone willing to work there with how superstitious people can be.
If it becomes a problem, just hire someone to do an exorcism.
Actually, I do know of someone who could be up to the task. You remember the Ludgates party at their Christchurch summer residence?
Of course. It was an excellent soiree. Everything was so classy, too. Such good taste.
Oh, that place was a pigsty until they hired out this interior designer and they turned it into a bloody palace. She worked for the Exodus for their apartment in Soho too, and they recommended her when we were looking up pieces for our beach house in Porto Colom.
Oh, and this is how she learns about Marianne, okay.
I think I have a business card right. No, I must have left it in my other jacket. Anyway, she's called, what's her name? Marianne, I believe, yes.
Ah, that's why she's mispronouncing the name. Okay.
But truly, if anyone were to get that place in McCullough, well, they'd be the envy and the talk of the town.
Well, if you put it that way, I might just snatch it up for myself. This place was starting to feel a bit small lately anyway.
Sure, a 3-story penthouse might not fit the definition of small for some people. Holy crap, no. That's huge to me. Jeez, lady. Okay, maybe a lot of people. But it isn't big enough to have grand parties in. As it is, I only invited about 30 people to this one. It already feels cramped in here. It certainly would be nice if I didn't have to ride an elevator up and down several floors before I can get anywhere as well. All Luke's words, not mine. Besides, I've been looking for a good anniversary gift. Luke might like this one. Where is he, anyway? Oh wow, we just skipped right to... okay. Oh, who are you? Hanna right threw a party at their penthouse, the cachet, the city's most powerful, worst scene, including Chief Inspector Harvey. That is nowhere near the name you were thinking of. The Chief Inspector Harvey Lee of the Luxborn Police Department. From him, the socialite heard of the Emmergard Mansion's up-and-coming open house and the interior designer, Marianne McCullough. Luke is dressed to the nines as he usually is, and looks ready for whatever the day will throw at him. His butler and valet wait at his side, just in case he isn't ready as he looks. Oh sure, that is normal. What is confusing to me is the fact that he is on his way out of the penthouse, considering we won't have anywhere to go until much later.
Where are you going?
I am to attend the Triad Autumn Tasting. I do believe I informed you of this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you still sound like a dick to me, I'm sorry.
Yes. And might I remind you that I had stricken that off your schedule? Because 1, the doctor told you to stop consuming so much alcohol. And 2, I informed you a few days ago about the open house we are going to attend in its place. I've even found this marvelous interior designer, Marianne McCullough.
So, yeah, she just mentioned too about his drinking problem. He is an alcoholic. Okay.
It's a 3.5-hour drive to Cardiff. I don't have time for this. This is like that little party you threw all over again. You don't inform me of it, and you expect me to stay and be a gracious host when I have business elsewhere.
Stop being a bitch.
You know how I operate, Hanna. Unless this was penciled in, I am sticking to my schedule.
If I may intrude, the madam is correct. Your physician did insist you moderate your drinking, unless you wish to incur acute pancreatitis.
I like his voice.
And you did have this open house penciled in last Wednesday morning.
Ha.
Bullocks, I don't remember doing so.
You wanna bet you were drunk?
Well, you did. While very hungover, in fact.
He did. Moaned about me being too loud, but gave in after some pushing. Perhaps that was a bit too cruel and manipulative of me, but...
Whose side are you on?
Come on, Luke. You promised we'd do whatever I want this weekend.
Yeah, come on. Don't be a baby.
Gordon Bennett, fine. I am giving this house tour of yours a chance. But if it proves to be a waste of time, I am going to Cardiff, and you are going to take a cab home. Are we clear?
It's just a bit of a husband and wife tit for tat, isn't it? All couples have their arguments. Once the honeymoon phase is over, as they seem to call it, reality sets in that you and your partner might not always see eye to eye. Yeah, see, this is why you live together for a bit first to see if it works out before you decide to marry. Perhaps it's been the years. 7 of them is nothing to scoff at.
I just cannot bloody believe I agreed to this. I was really looking forward to the Triad tasting.
Oh, you'll get over it. Though sometimes, I think it's something a bit more than just simple disagreements, and have to stop myself from wondering where we went wrong.
There's always the Triad Christmas tasting in Manchester next month, and that'll only be an 1.5-hour drive.
Have I been neglectful? Have I offended? Have I acted shamefully?
Yes, but Cardiff.
You are such a baby. Certainly, any problem can be discussed, as long as he doesn't turn me away.
Well, there goes my good mood. Are you happy now, Hanna?
Why must he treat me this way? You know what? No, he will not treat you this way, Hanna. He is not allowed to treat you this way. You wanna know why? Because we are defending ourselves. Screw you, Luke.
Yes, I am very happy, Luke. Because for once in a very long time, we are doing what I want.
Oh, it went up. Okay.
I'm ecstatic. Understood? And this would be perfect if you stop acting like a child who needs their nappy changed. We will be leaving after lunch for the Ermengarde mansion.
Oh. She changed in how she said it. Okay.
You are going to park your rear in the car and keep mum. And you are going to behave during the tour.
Needless to say, Luke looks a bit shocked at my little outburst. He opened and closed his mouth a few times, struggling to reply, before he crosses his arms to look like, well, a moping child.
Any more rules for this little excursion of yours, Your Highness?
Yes.
No wine.
No wine.
Not at all.
Unacceptable! I am already not allowed to the tasting, and you would deprive me of that simple pleasure?
Yes.
If I see you take one sip today, I will put the stocks under lock and key. Do you understand me?
Don't forget the bottles he keeps in his dresser.
Whose side are you on?
Okay, I just gotta say this. The voice actor of Luke is doing a really good job. You hate him, and yet at some points you kinda like him, but you still hate him too.
How many times in one day can you ask that?
As many as I want.
As many times as I need you, traitor.
The ride to the mansion is quiet, with Luke having stared out the window the entire way, not paying attention to anything around him. Meanwhile, I am conflicted. I don't know if I should apologize for changing his plans like that. But by the time we arrive at the mansion, and I see his eyes light up in genuine interest, apologizing is the last thing on my mind. Ooh, the whole affair of the Ermengarde mansion is certainly an interesting experience. The place had been renovated and restored by the owners to what they claim to be acceptable standards. The mansion itself looks like something befitting a fairy tale or a period piece. It is tastefully decorated and, with a little bit of love and attention, I'm sure it can be a place Luke and I can call home. And the number of other prospective buyers that have come from the powerful and wealthy of Luxbourne certainly did not disappoint, making their estate as prime property. The Lees are amongst the group who went with the Rose Woman, and I saw a few other notable faces, though I did not really feel like mingling. Unfortunately for every one of them, the Wrights are interested in buying. Oh my gosh, Isabella! You look scared, but you still look so cute! What's been bugging my mind, however, is that Isabel. What's her problem? I still don't quite understand what is happening. One moment she is scrambling to give us the paperwork to finalize the sale. Ah, I see. Okay. Then she's panicked over some sort of prank letter or another.
Dear me, is Isabel all right?
It is apparent with the way she shakes, and by the parlor of her skin, something has really shaken her up.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
I am worried, but it will be best if she is attended by someone more familiar to her, like her partner. But even then, the girl refuses roses offer her to drink, and looks just about ready to make a run for it.
No, I'm just feeling a bit out of it.
I thought your ponytail was longer. Hold on. No, maybe it's just how it looks in the thing. Oh, sweetie. I hope you're okay. I just hope.
Excuse me. I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
And she does so, just as I predicted, and her partner follows like a concerned mother. There's an awkward air among us, as we are left in the wake of whatever that was. The other murmurs and gossip with each other, speaking of the poor, daft girl and telling the tale to whoever was not audience to the act in the first place. It doesn't take too long for the woman, Rose, to return and pull us aside into the study for what I rightfully assume is damage control. New area! Ooh, okay, so many books. Rose invites Marianne in too, hoping to apologize to her as well. But the woman refuses, saying she is not one of her clients anyway. That leaves myself, Rose, and Luke, the last all too eager to make himself comfortable in a study he's no doubt already claimed as his own.
I can't apologize enough about what just happened. Please forgive Isabella. She's been under a lot of pressure lately. She's young, and all those rumors about this being haunted just got to her head. And it must be this terrible heat, too. Not a drop of rain for days now.
Are you sure it is wise to just let her go like that? Where is the poor dear? She might get hurt.
I'm glad that Hanna actually cares and not trying to put on some facade. It's actually really good. I really did like Hanna the first time I met her. I thought she was a really interesting character. Of course, at first, I kind of thought she might have been a little bit of an airhead, but further on, it did click to me that, no, that's not what she is. She's not that at all. She's actually a very intelligent person.
She's more likely to hurt somebody else, given what just happened.
Luke, you're not helping.
I told her to sit down and take a break. Already rang someone to pick her up, too.
Right, yeah. She did do that.
That might be for the best, dear. But please, we're here to talk about the mansion, yes? Why, I absolutely adore it. Don't you, Luke? Some of the rooms will certainly have to be repurposed. We want to change the appliances and have Marianne lead on the decor, but the whole thing is just lovely.
It is pretty, except for the ghosts.
I guess. It's certainly a lot roomier than our penthouse.
Exactly! Lots of space for guests, parties, a lot of room for little ones to run around too.
Oh, she wants kids.
Let's not discuss that right now, Buttercup.
Come on, you guys have been married for 7 years. She wants some children.
Anyway, I do think it would be a shame to let this mansion slip past us.
But you haven't even finished touring the house.
Well, we like what we've seen.
I am making her job easier for her, am I not? No need for loans or long price negotiations. We can just sign a contract and close the deal. Really, you think the woman will be more happy about an easy sale? I know how these estate agents worked, how long they had to wait, and how much they had to spend even just for a single sale. Why, she should be jumping for joy by now. I'm sure the commission on this mansion is nothing to sneeze at, even if she has to split it with the Isabel girl.
Do you think we could have horses here?
Yes, those do sound nice, love. Anyway, if anyone else is interested in buying this property, I assure you that I'm able and willing to give a better offer.
A vineyard would be nice. Or maybe
And we do reward our people quite generously, Rose. So, if I were you, I would start on that paperwork.
helicopter pad.
What? That is so random. Seriously? Why that of all things? I pause. And there's a small moment of complete silence where Rose and I just stare incourteously at Luke. It's an unspoken understanding, a rule between the two of us that we have to put on an act. With our social standing, where image matters, it is also important to avoid making enemies, and to follow this rule is an easy feat for me. From youth, I have been the well-trained social butterfly, gracious and graceful. Luke, on the other hand...
Oh, wait, what, Luke? No, what? Whatever would we need a helipad for?
Well, he likes to play the fool sometimes, even if he is anything but. As he throws me a wry smile, I shake my head and beckon Rose over. This is to be our home, and there is nothing she or anyone else can do to change my mind. This is a place that speaks of power and importance, and, at the same time, of safety and comfort. Perhaps we can even have our family here. Yeah, she really does want kids. There is definitely no better gift than this for our special date. Why, everything here is absolutely wonderful. Oof! Well, except for this ugly painting in the study, that ain't no painting. Nope. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. That ain't no painting. That is a ghost in a mirror. It looks like a bad fake of an Avard Munch painting.
Here's the deal. I'm willing to pay 10% higher than your listing price. If anyone tries to outbid us, just add another 5%. I doubt anyone can, of course. Or, you know what? Just add 15% to the listing price, and we can sign all the paperwork now.
That makes sense. Okay.
I guess, if that's what you want. That won't be any trouble. I don't have all the papers now. Didn't think this would be a quick sell. I'll have copies sent to you so you can look over them. And if you'd still like to finish the rest of the tour with Isabella's group, you're more than welcome to.
No, I think we're good here. We'd appreciate a private tour of the place a lot more, I think.
All right. Should I let Marianne in, then?
Marianne? Oh, right. She's been waiting outside the study this whole time, hasn't she? I'll need to have a little chat with her to move this mansion project forward.
Please do.
There is a look of apprehension when the other woman enters the study. Like a professional, I see the moment when she steels herself and masks her worry. Admirable.
We have this project then?
Of course. Will you be needing anything from us?
Having the floor plans would be a great start, just so that I can look at them beforehand. And if you could tell me when you're available for a meeting so that I can include it in my calendar?
Oh, is a meeting really all that necessary, Marianne? I guess we can send Johans to help you out.
Oh, his name is Johans. Okay. I don't know why. Thinking of that name just makes me think of Johann Liebert from Monster. I love that anime. That anime is awesome.
You two can start by getting rid of this ugly painting.
Again, that ain't no painting, sweetheart. That is a mirror. I bet you that is a mirror. Ugh, why? At least she ain't smiling. I think I'd be more concerned if she was smiling. You know what would be even creepier, though? And I say this if this was a real thing. If you stood in front of the painting and you moved a few steps to the left, and then you moved a few steps to the right, and you'd actually see the eyes follow you, that would be so freaking creepy. Ugh, I wouldn't want that in my life.
What painting?
Yep. And lo and behold, the painting is gone. In its place, a mirror stands, which leaves me to look at my own confused expression.
Odd. Well, no matter.
No, you shouldn't just brush that off. Trust me, we learned previously. You don't brush ghosts off in this game.
Back to the topic at hand. Marianne, dear, we are simply far too busy to meet up.
Or perhaps maybe I should... Well, seeing Marianne, I think we really should free up my schedule.
But I guess we can free up a day to meet with you.
Oh. Ah, it went up.
I don't really need another Maudlin Monday reading about Maury anyway. The book club can function without me for one day. What time shall we be seeing each other? How does lunch sound?
Besides, my house has a higher priority over book club. Why, we can hold the next meeting in this place. Surely the beauty and grandeur of it will inspire spirited and lively debates about whether modern-day writers could match up to the classics. I might as well clear up the rest of my week to handle whatever affairs buying this mansion requires of me. Any social activity can be put off until the Ermengarde, or rather, the Wright Mansion's great debut. I'll have my fill of great parties and gatherings, especially when I organize them myself.
That sounds good. Although, with a project of this scope, we might need most of the day to tackle your concerns. A more thorough inspection of the place is also preferable.
Breakfast then. It's a date.
It's really not.
Huh?
All right. Monday. 10 o'clock sharp.
I got the feeling that Marianne over here seems to like Hanna in a certain way. And not in the business professional kind. I could be wrong, though. But then again, past experience in this game has proven that my sleuthing detective skills have been rather right as of late. So maybe she does have an attraction to Hanna.
We'll see then.
Actually, Marianne suggested that we meet at 9, but who's even awake at that unholy hour? Sadly, I'm gonna have to be here tomorrow. I have work tomorrow! Yay! Shoot me, I'd rather sleep. I like my sleep. I was lucky enough to wake up this morning before Luke went all the way to Cardiff. We say our goodbyes, shake hands, and make it clear without outright saying it that we now own this house. By the time we left the mansion grounds, sunset is almost upon us.
So, you really want to buy this place then? That's a bit of a big impulse buy, even coming from you. Not that I'm complaining.
I feel elation when I hear those words from him. It's not every day one is able to please someone like Luke. He gives away false flattery to sway those who starve for his attention and approval. But in the privacy of closed doors, he would often express his grievances. He neither censored himself in front of me, nor spared me from his criticism.
You have been saying the penthouse was getting a bit too small for you. Happy anniversary!
Oh. That time of the year already?
Wow. Wow, you back in my bad books again. Wow, that was... You're gonna flip-flop through that a lot, I feel. Mostly you're gonna be sticking to my bad books. I just got a feeling from you, buddy. You just seem like a dick. You forgot about it last year, too. Yep. Definitely in my bad books. I understand that he's a busy man, but...
Is that why you want to buy it?
Yes. You don't like it?
Oh.
I do. But I remember you used to talk about how you wanted to live next to the beach.
Oh. Botany Bay, Kent. I remember the sea, water that stretched out for miles and miles as far as the eyes can see. As a kid, I loved our beach trips, swimming all day as much as I could. I was a well-behaved child, and the only time I was ever truly difficult was when I refused to get out of the waters, even when my fingers had gone all wrinkly. And even when they managed to pull me out of the water, there was always sandcastles. The day before we married, I told Luke that I wanted a house on a beach and a dog. And a kid or two. None of those came true 7 years later.
That was a childish dream. Living next to the beach is so impractical if you really think about it.
I don't know. It's not a bad thought to see you in a bathing suit every day.
Maybe another time, love. We still have forever, don't we?
Aw. He says nothing, only grabbing my hand and holding it tight, as we spend the rest of the ride home in silence. I miss the sea. Oh, okay, so I'm just gonna call it here as a nice little introduction to Hanna. Yeah, and her tree seems a bit shorter than Isabella's. Yeah, Isabella's seems a lot longer than Hanna's, but I am gonna call it here as a... I think I'm probably gonna do this for every start of a new episode. Have that one as a bit short to get like a nice introduction, and then continue onwards after that. But yeah, this has been a really nice start to see. It's really cool to see the different perspective of these characters and not always stuck on this one particular character, which you see that a lot in movies and TV shows and even in books. So always seeing a different perspective, or heck, actually also even in games. And so to see the different perspective of all of these characters, and we've got like a few more to go through, and Luke is the last one, so it makes me wonder what his is going to be like out of everything. And And then we got Zachary and Marianne and Rebecca and Ashton, so it'll be really interesting to see just how this goes through. And I also hope that you kind of like the way that I'm going to be doing this. It's probably going to be different from other people who play the game and they just continue. Because I've seen, before I started this, I saw some people who did Let's Plays of this game, and they would have like an hour and 30 minutes. But it was like the first 30 minutes of the very start of the game. But I want to be a little bit different in that regard and just have a nice introduction to every character at the beginning and then just continue on my way afterwards. At least that's the plan. And you can let me know if you like it, if you don't like it, or whatever. But regardless, as I've said, this has been the start of Hannah's story, and I hope you guys like it, and let me know what you think. And hope that Luke will stop being an annoying little bastard, because there are times where I just want to give him a punch, and I got a feeling that's going to happen a lot more within this game. I just have that feeling at some point we're going to have the ability to deck him in the face. And if that is an option at some point, I am taking that option. So, even if it ends up being the wrong way, I don't care. I'll take that option, then go back. Because if I've got that feeling, something about this feels weird to me. Actually, now that I think about it too. But I can talk about it in the next episode too. I'll have more to think on it when I get around to recording the next episode. But regardless, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. You'll let me know what you think, and I hope to see you all again in the next one. This has been CatDemon43, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!